Hello everyone, this is Ian with Votocycling, and I have a story to tell you today. I'm excited about this story. This story is geared towards young disc golfers. So unfortunately, if you are not at my channel to watch disc golf, I don't have a story for anything else today. But I do have an unboxing of motorcycle gear if you are interested, and you can go watch that. But anyways, first, I want to mention some young disc golfers. I am subscribed to a couple of you. There's Young Gun Disc Golf and The Boss Disc Golfer. Those two I've been watching a lot. I've been meaning to get subscribed to more young disc golfers, but I haven't had a chance. But anyways, you guys, you're doing an awesome job, so please continue doing that. And The Boss Disc Golfer, you constantly go outside and throw in the snow, which is awesome. I haven't had a chance to do that myself. So coming home and watching your video throwing outside and talking about disc golf in the snow makes me really happy. So keep doing that. I appreciate it. Alright, so the story I have today is that I have a young disc golfer who came to me for some questions, and this is the letter. She's a female disc golfer. She's wanted to try disc golf this year, but she has a really cool, unique background. And she sent me this letter, and I have to say, as I was reading this, I felt that she's a very intelligent person, and that she's passionate about what she does. So, just to go over a little bit of the email here, it's actually a page long. It's actually a pretty nice, detailed letter. She talks a little bit about herself, that she played disc golf in high school, except she doesn't remember some of the discs, what they were and what the weights were. Some of the discs that she played in high school were Ultimate Frisbees. And then she currently, I'm assuming she currently plays Ultimate Frisbee at her university now. And then she's from Canada, by the way. So go Canada. And then she's also a rower, so she has a pretty strong arm. So she knows some of the terminology. She has a budget, which was pretty cool. Most young disc golfers, they only have a budget because they don't have any money. But the fact that she has a budget and has a list of discs that are within that, that possibly she can afford within her budget is pretty cool. And then, so she's going to buy some X out, clearance items, misprints, things like that to save money, which is awesome. And then at the bottom here, she also has some some general questions about stability, weights, all that good stuff. And I've highlighted in yellow because I wanted to answer her question, but I wanted to make sure I answered it properly and thoroughly. At the bottom of her email, she said something interesting. She said that she would extremely appreciate it if I could give her a hand. If not, she would totally understand. Now, as I was reading that, I felt that it was my responsibility or my duty that to give her a very well-written, thorough answer to the best of my ability, because yeah, I could have just looked at her list of discs right here and just start picking, one from each category. By the way, I rearranged these in putters and mid-ranges and stuff. When she sent it to me, it was in different order. But I could just pick one from each category and just tell her, yeah, I think this would be good for beginner, blah, blah. One thing to note from her is that she lives in Canada, so she doesn't have the ample access to disc stores in the States here. Because of that, she also mentioned to me that she wants a beginner for discs, but she also wants discs that are a little bit more challenging, so that they would be a challenge for her, so that she can learn later in the game as she develops her game. So, keep that in mind. So I could just, back to what I was saying, is that I could just write a paragraph and send it back to her and tell her what disc I think she, would be great for her. But at the same time, that's not a fair response. It's not fair to recommend something and not explain your recommendations. So I was like, well, I'm going to write back to her. And as I started writing my email, this is what I come up with. This is supposed to say her name, but I changed the viewer. By the way, I've already asked her about mentioning her in my next video, and she said I could do that. I told her that I'm not going to mention her name, so that's why you're not going to know her name. But as I was writing this, I talked about Ultimate Frisbee versus disc golf, or at least my understanding of the differences. There's probably more differences than this, but I don't know much about Ultimate Frisbee, so I only talked about the basics. I went through weights, putters, stability. I went through speeds and glide. I went through the plastic types. And then I talked about the list of discs that she gave me and explained why I put these numbers in here. I put the stability with the level of difficulty. I'm pretty sure she already knows what these numbers are, but in order for me to get my point across, I put the numbers in there to help me explain to her my recommendations. And then she already had a list of discs that she already was thinking of buying. So the putter, she was thinking about buying the Wizard and the Magic. She thought about buying a Fuse for mid-range, Cyclone for the fairway driver, and Adventure for a distance driver. And then I went through and talked about my recommendations, and I told her that it's by no means what she should buy. It's only my recommendations, and then I put the prices next to it because she had a budget. And then I went through for each one and explained to them why I recommended those. And then before I knew it, it was 4 pages long. So I felt really bad, but at the same time, I couldn't just skimp out and only send her 1 page. So I sent this to her, and I think about two or 3 weeks later, she sent me an email with the results, and this is what it resulted from those emails. She ended up buying, let's see here, she ended up buying, this is a Champion Destroyer, this is a Champion T-Bird. I believe these two are Magic and Wizard, and then this is a Rock, I think. She'll probably correct me later, I'm pretty sure. And then this is the AVR, this is the Fuse, and we have a Pulse here, the Cyclone, and the Truth. So if I were to look at these discs, I would think, oh my gosh, you know, I wouldn't even think that she's a beginner. I'd be like, well, this is a nice selection of discs. Besides the fact that they're colorful, but you know, we're all colorful, so that's fine. Or if she were to give me this bag of discs right now, I could have a very nice round at some of my courses around me. Because she has a number of discs here that covers a number of shots, which is pretty awesome. She's got 2 distance drivers, and the Destroyer by no means is a small disc. It's a really nice disc. It will go really far if you have your technique down. She's got 2 fairway drivers. She's got 3 putters. And then she's got 3 mid ranges. So she's got the Truth, the Fuse, and the Rock, which is a really good selection of discs. And then I thought, as I was reading this email and as I was looking at these discs, I thought, wow, when I was a beginner, I wish I had this much information available to me to understand the game well enough to make such a well-informed decision. Now, by all means, I am not 100% responsible for this. She is responsible for all of this. She went out and looked for answers. She did the research on her own. She had a few questions left. She sent it to me, and I answered the best I could. I don't know if I helped her at all. I answered the question. I mean, she probably got like 1% out of my 4 pages of nonsense. But the thing is, she made a well-informed decision, and the selection of discs she ended up with is amazing on a budget. So, to tell the more of the story is this: you can get a really good selection of discs on a budget, and if you have all the knowledge and information that you possibly can get before you go buy these discs. So, as a young disc golfer, there are so many manufacturers out there right now. You know, when I started, there's only 2 manufacturers. If you look at this right now, there's 3 to 4 in this 10 disc alone. That's a lot of different manufacturers. So when you start going to look at research, when you want to get into disc golf, you start reading up on things, and the information online can get a little bit overwhelming. So for this person to do all the research and narrow it down to this amount of discs, it is amazing what you can do if you have been well informed. So, you know, as a young disc golfers, this is the tricky part, is finding the discs to try out, and you know, beginner friendly, and then for later on use, once your game develops, you have discs that will also be available to you when your level of difficulty goes up. So, finally, if you have, you know, as a new golfer, if you have questions, you're going to have questions because there's so many things out there available now. As manufacturers start growing in their own lineup, and as new manufacturers pop up, the game is going to expand, and the competition is going to expand. When those things happen, the game gets more complex. And when the game gets more complex, it's a little bit more difficult to figure out where you want to start. And therefore, you should ask questions. When you have a question, you should ask it. When you have a question, go online, look it up. And if everything online seems confusing still, find a human being and ask the human being. If you write up a one-page note like this person did, and you send it to somebody and they send it back to you with only a paragraph of answers, you might not be getting, the full answer that you deserve. That's not to say that person who responded to the answer is a bad person. That they might be having a bad day, they might not have enough time. And generally the people who are good at answering questions, they will tell you that. They will tell you, I can give you a better answer, but not right now because I'm busy right now. So don't be discouraged by that. Don't be afraid to ask next time. Just because that person's having a bad day doesn't mean they won't give you a good answer the next time you talk to them again. So continue to be proactive, continue to ask questions, and don't be afraid to try try asking the same question to someone else. Even if it is kind of an acquaintance and you don't know them very well yet, just do get to know them and say, hey, I need help. Can you help me out here? And things of such nature. And finally, I want to tell to this viewer, thank you for letting me talk about you in this video. And if you're watching this, I want you to know that I've been honored to have been contacted by you for the questions. And you have inspired me to now focus more on disc golf, to make more disc golf videos for young disc golfers, and specifically expand the female disc golf community around me. So, with that being said, the rest of the young disc golfers, I'm glad that you're already making videos, and I enjoy watching them, and I give you the same open arms as this new disc golfer, is that you are more than welcome to ask me questions just like she did. If you have any comments or questions, leave it down below or message me, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions you have for me. Alright, and also the young disc golfer that emailed me this, Miss Viewer, I just want to let you know, besides the fact that I've been honored to ask, to do this, and I've been inspired, I would love to meet you one day, and that would be awesome, and play around with you. And I'm pretty sure you'll kick my butt then, but that's okay. That's bound to happen. So until next time, this is Human Motorcycling, and I will see you in the next video.